Hello and welcome to our news roundup for this evening. The acting president of the Council of the Nation, Salah Goujir, received the president of the National Council of Human Rights, Lazhari Bouzid, who gave him the annual report on the situation of human rights for the year 2019. Pursuant to Article 199 of the Constitution, which requires the National Council for Human Rights to submit an annual report on the situation of human rights in Algeria to the President of the Republic, the Parliament and the Prime Minister, and to publish it as well. The President of the National Council for Human Rights, Lazhari Bouzid, was also received by the President of the National People's Assembly, Slimane Chennine, to whom he submitted the annual report on the human rights situation for the year 2019 pursuant to Article 199 of the Constitution. The independence of the justice on the agenda of the first ordinary session of the Higher Council of Justice, held under the chairmanship of the Minister of Justice, Keeper of the Seals, Vice President of the Higher Council of Justice. On behalf of the President of the Republic, Belkacem Zermati recalled that this meeting comes at a time when there is a lot of talk about the role of this important constitutional institution, called to consecrate the independence of the justice because of the role and mission that will be conferred to it by the next constitution. In this respect, the Minister stressed that the Higher Council of Justice will remain the highest first authorized to ensure the supervision and monitoring of the careers of magistrates. Belkacem Zermati said in a statement that there is no doubt that the work of this session is taking place at a time when much has been written about the role of the Higher Council of Justice as a pivotal constitutional institution that is essential to the realization of the independence of the judiciary, through the role and mission it is intended to play in the next long-awaited constitution. All that has been known on this side of the Constitution review in serious and rich debates between specialists and professionals is only an undeniable proof of the importance given to this constitutional institution within the foundations of the state. Thanks to the new vision that has been devoted to the provisions of the next constitutional revision, the High Council of Justice will remain the highest authority of the judiciary authority in terms of supervision and monitoring of the professional careers of magistrates. Thus, as long as it fulfills its tasks in this context, the Higher Council of the Judiciary will remain the main keeper of rights and freedoms and of the supremacy of the rule of law.
The ceremony began with the inspection of formations presided by Major General Gharis Abdelhamid, Secretary General at the Ministry of National Defense. The commander of the National School of Military Health made for the occasion a speech in which he stressed the efforts spent in order to reach the planned objectives. He congratulated the graduates from the National School of Military Health as they will join the professional world where challenges await them, and thanks to the scientific knowledge acquired and its applications, they will be able to show their devotion and honor their glorious predecessors of the National Liberation Army. Then, the graduating promotion pronounced their loyalty oath. And after taking the oath came the handing of ranks and diplomas to the graduates of each promotion. Major General Gharis Abdelhamid, Secretary General at the Ministry of National Defense, then agreed to naming this promotion after martyr Tayyib Ahmed Abid. The grandson of the martyr Tayyib Ahmed Abid was among the graduates of this promotion, and he was honored in presence of his family. At the end, the teachers and graduating students were all honored. For the occasion, the school's commander, General Sabah Boumediene, stressed the importance of the major axis of training and the acquiring of scientific and military knowledge by the graduates that would allow them to reach the expected professionalism. The graduation ceremony of the promotion from the Application School for Transportation and Traffic of the 2nd Military Region began with the inspection of formations of graduates by the Deputy of the Commander of the 2nd Military Region, Major General حج العروسي جمال.
بقدر ما أهنيكم على هذا النجاح والتتويج بقدر ما أحثكم على التحلي.
He congratulated the graduates for their discipline and perseverance and the efforts they made to succeed this year. He said that he expected them to show national and military noble values in their character for success. Following the taking of oath by the graduates, their best received their ranks. Then after that, the national emblem was handed over by the graduating promotion to the next promotion. The Major General approved of the naming of the promotion after the martyr Msharnan Muhammad. Military parade then was carried out by the different promotions to mark the end of the ceremony. On the sideline of the graduation ceremony, Major General Haj al-Arousi Jamal proceeded to the launching of the Open Doors Day for this establishment. At the end of the ceremony, the family of the martyr Msharnan Muhammad was honored for the occasion.
The advisor to the President of the Republic in charge of the associative movement and the national community abroad, Nazih Barumdan, said in Batna that consultation meetings with associations and civil society actors would be continued to build a future strategy that will organize the activity of the associative movement. During this meeting, Nazih Barumdan stressed that the meeting is not occasional or conjunctural. This audience aims to build a future strategy that will organize the activity of associative movement and empower it to play its fundamental role in the development of the country. Associations have an important and fundamental role in any operation for the development of society. The objective is constructive consultation, because we are looking for independent associations within the framework of the law that bring applause through an organization that oversees training and exchanges of experience and better rehabilitates civil society alongside elected or administrative state institutions in order to serve the citizen better. This audience was an opportunity to listen and exchange proposals on solutions that will allow associations to play a fundamental role, but also to oust the opportunists in the associative movement. Thanks to mechanisms, organization, and training, we will have better performing associative members. Soon a national meeting will take place and a national authority will emerge, which will have a link with all the sectors that deal with associations. Nazih Barumdan also assured that these meetings initiated on the national territory will be continued to target all 48 provinces of the country. The objective is to listen to proposals on the modalities that will enable civil society and associations to play a fundamental role in the development of the country.
The Director General of the National Archives and advisor to the President of the Republic announced the launch of the National Memory Program, which is an essential element in the training of good citizens and a step towards the establishment of the new Republic. Supervising the work of a remote seminar held at the headquarters of the Ministry of Interior, Abdelmajid Sheikhi underlined that the program of national memory is a long-term process, which is not linked to a specific anniversary of a national event, specifying that the national memory is an essential element in the formation of a responsible citizen. He also added that the establishment of a new republic is not obvious because it requires collective efforts in many sectors where history must find a way to reach the citizens.
For the 17th of August 2020, 442 new confirmed cases, including 9 new deaths, have been reported in the last 24 hours, according to the spokesman of the scientific committee in charge of monitoring the evolution of COVID-19 pandemic, Professor Jamal Furar. He added that 330 patients have recovered, which brings up the total number of cured patients to 27,347. The national hydrocarbons company Sonatrach signed a memorandum of understanding with its partner Wintershall Dea in order to discuss possibilities for cooperation in the fields of hydrocarbon exploitations, development and production in Algeria and abroad. The signing of this protocol aims to strengthen the existing partnership between Sonatrach and Wintershall Dea by searching for new cooperation opportunities. As a reminder, Wintershall Dea has been present in Algeria since 2002. It has participated in the development of the Regan Nord project since it went into production in 2017. After 6 months of quarantine, the authorities of the province of Algiers announced the reopening of beaches, recreational and entertainment spaces, and also mosques under a set of conditions that must be complied. After the closure of mosques for several months, they welcomed worshippers again, but with new habits and precise conditions. The managers and volunteers work day and night for the smooth running of the prayers. They began preparing the building before the reopening. They cleaned and disinfected every corner of the mosque. At the entrance of the mosque, volunteers guide and accompany the worshippers to ensure good placement inside the mosque, while respecting the rules of physical spacing and avoiding any risk of contamination. Praying again in mosques is a joy for all practitioners.
Oil prices recovered during the European meeting, while OPEC ministers and their allies will meet in 2 days to take stock of their voluntary cuts in production. This afternoon, a barrel of Brent from the North Sea for October delivery was worth $45.12 in London, up to 0.71% compared to last Friday's close. In New York, a U.S. barrel of WTI for September was at $42.48. Benchmark prices gained momentum as Wall Street opened higher and the dollar weakened slightly against major currencies. This comes as investors are heading this week to the monthly meeting of members of the OPEC and their allies, which will have to help decide whether OPEC and members maintain the planned pace. And that's it for our news roundup for tonight. Thanks for joining us. Good night.